lot of people do not know that when that mail come in the mail, it's your name on it. That's not your mail. That job, your house, your car, that's not yours. You've been leasing that name since you was born.
Why do they keep saying Social Security is running out?
They don't want to print the money no more.
If you don't know about ink, learn your ink colors. Black ink is the ink that lets you know that you're dead. Blue ink is live ink. Red ink is blood. Purple is royalty. When you're born, they stamp your feet on that paper. And black ink. Certifying that you're a dead entity.
Can you imagine you don't even own your kids? Whenever I get pulled over, I don't speak. I don't engage in conversation. What I do wrong? Why you pulling me over? Like, no, I just shut the fuck up.
I feel like that's a more higher level of living.
Exactly.
I call it a peaceful existence. A lot of people have money owed to them and they don't know about it. A lot of people have funds they can access they don't know about. So
they call it surplus funds sometimes.
Something like that, yeah.
Some people just so comfortable. And some people, they get good at the game in the Matrix. Like GTA. They create the life they want.
Thing is, are you willing to learn? Are you willing to step off this board and see yourself in a different light and walk in a new light? And change is scary. But when you know that no authority is held over you after you make that change, that's the excitement.
Nah, it's Thursdays though. So, every Thursday, we shooting the podcast, man. We pull up and, it's the Deletekings podcast where the priority is to definitely get this done. So we back here with another one. I go by the name Deleteking 850, and I definitely got my bro here with me. What's up, bro?
You already know Deletekings CVO.
Yeah, man. And new and improved, everything. We getting better every episode. We have a very special guest for y'all today. I'm going to let him introduce himself the right way. What they call you, bro?
They call me Mike the Baker. You can find me at Bindu, BINDU.DVN on IG.
I know you came through for Content Day, right? How you feel about Content Day at HQ Chicago?
Memorable.
Yeah.
Lit. Well constructed. Many scenes to go and take your pictures and content. Of course, y'all had some of the best scenes, So.
Oh yeah, man.
First, I'm gonna end off with the first word I said. Memorable.
100%. And we got a vlog coming soon from Content Day. We can even start off there, man. I pulled up. I don't pull up as much as I would like to, but I am so glad I made it to Content Day because it was lit, man. We had the back-to-back trucks, black trucks. We had the models pulling up, matching the trucks, and the new i7. CVO just got the BMW i7. We discussed that. You're gonna see that podcast come out and all of that. But what made you pull up to Content Day? Are you an artist, or like, what should people know about you and what you do?
I'm actually stepping into modeling and branding. Actually branding several businesses. One was the Windy City Smoothie. Y'all can check that out at Windy City Smoothie on IG. I got a Bindu body butter that I push. And I do have my brand, Shake and Bake. We the bakers at Shake and Bake Chicago, 773. Y'all can look us up on IG. What made me come here was the modeling. I came here with the photographer, AD, Davis. She's also on IG. Pardon the body for not remembering your handle right now. But it was actually a moment for me to step out and step into some different scenes, catch some different shoot. And it was actually like a birthday ordeal too. So, it was like the best of both worlds.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you said it was your birthday. Happy belated the other day, right?
Too, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you was, we just met and you was just talking some high level stuff in the first 2 minutes, man. So like you say a thing or two about like trust and all of that?
Certainly. When I found out you guys were doing the credit, and that was a field I ventured in, I played in that field not too long, and I wasn't too interested in that field. My field was a little heavier, and it took more dedication to go into because of the wording, the paperwork, and this trust. A lot of people don't know about trust. I can tell you this is how you get off the chessboard and start playing with the chess pieces.
We're going to dive straight into that because it's like you instantly was able to go on your phone and show proof and results that you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Same way we like to do. We like show proof and results that, we know what we're talking about. So you had some trust documents and all of that stuff. Like, I sort of want you to explain to the people, like, how you even dived straight into it and how you were able to like establish your own, maybe simplify it for the people that's watching and listening to how they can establish their own trust and get their business together.
Okay. Well, I dove into it because my background was street background, so I was always in a lot of trouble. However, I was always interested in law. I was always interested in finances and commerce. And one of the biggest things I always looked up in the higher ups, the elites, they always secured themselves by assets. And I always looked into assets. And if you got this many assets, I was always questioning, how are they securing this without having a hold on it? None of this was theirs, but they owned it, but they never held it. They held the rights to it. They held the title to it. They held the say-so to it. A lot of people do not know that when that mail come in the mail, it's your name on it. That's not your mail. That job, your house, your car, that's not yours. You've been leasing that name since you was born. It's the all caps name, you know. A lot of people don't know that. And what made me get into that was the legal system, me being in the legal system. My first case, I looked at the document and said, why is my name in all caps? What does that mean? And everybody know you never wrote your name in all caps when you were younger, right?
Right.
Right. I was not taught that. So it was for me to dive into that and figure out what was the in-between. Where was that cutoff? What was that? Why is my name like this and not like how I usually write it every day question that bugged my mind, that allowed me to drive deep into books and deep into people who had that information, deep into the historical engineers of the game. I found some niches. I picked up pieces of information. I put my own puzzle together. I did a lot of trial and error, and one thing I do know for sure is how to get off that chessboard, how to take control of that name, how to utilize that name. So when I say no, it really means no in any system, rather it's a municipality, rather it's government, rather it's a funeral home saying they have rights and you don't. It all applies when it comes to one thing, and that's trust. I have a packet that people can come and get in tune with us, and we can sit down and we can build.
Yeah, I want to get the blueprint as much as you can reveal on this episode, because I tried to study all of this. At one point, I came across somebody that was just, you just keep scrolling and you came across something like, what's this guy talking about? Some like state national and this and that, and how the U.S. government is just a document in Washington, D.C., and if you're a citizen, you really belong to like, you know what I mean? It's all all of that stuff. So I went down a rabbit hole myself, and ironically, I've been working on doing the certificate of live birth and getting that. I know it's not notarized, but something where you got to do it. And
apostille.
Apostille, right? I thought the research I was doing was saying you got to like send it to Switzerland or one of the other government entities or something like that.
No, it's called a non-Hague country.
Non-Hague, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I did enough research to know a little bit how to like regurgitate some of it, but I didn't complete all the steps because I got busy and I realized like I was going so deep down the rabbit hole, it was becoming like almost an obsession where it's just like, man, I noticed a lot of people in the community, they would be doing all this research to try and like write off their mortgage or get a free house, get a free car. I'm just like, okay, there's those people, right? What if they use the same amount of energy and time to just get rich, like, and play the game, finesse the game? Like, so it's like, it's a two-way street where it's like, you doing just you putting the right amount of hours and studying into that, right? Try and get like a free house or something like that. But the whole time, rich people exist, and they have no idea what that is. And like, so I want your 2 cents on that. You know what I'm saying? How do you go down the rabbit hole, study, but still not go too deep where it's just like you still got bad credit and you trying to like claim, you trying to write everything off or whatever, and like, discharge debt and all of that stuff. Like, do you go down that deep or?
I have I have been tremendously deep. I've been a bit deep down that rabbit hole. The thing that kept me sane was documentation of everything that I've been doing
Yeah.
and keeping everything in separate folders. Because once you go down that rabbit hole, it's like you start crawling, and as you get deeper, it's like you start falling. And now you're just catching everything that's in your way and in your face.
Yeah.
However, when you keep a focus on what your intentions are, your path is more directed. So for me, I had to study what the all caps name was and what it meant.
What does it mean for you exactly? What is the benefits?
The all caps name is a straw man to me. A straw man is someone that is an entity, a person. You can use that in the legal terms as a person. It's an entity. I can never be a straw man because a straw man is an entity and I am a living man. So studying that all caps name and understanding what that all caps name is, it shed more light on the birth certificate and social security number. And there's a couple forms of birth certificates. There's a live birth certificate, there's a regular birth certificate. A lot of people are not aware of a long form live birth certificate.
Which is a certificate of live birth.
Certificate of live birth with your mother name, your father name, their location of birth as well. A lot of people just get the standard general form.
Right.
Utilizing that long form takes you a lot further as well. So doing the research on that, I want to save more time than we have by just going through what I have, just the basics, just going through what I have went through.
Simple step. You can go down to City Hall, in the city you was born in, and it's really, you can pick it up. I tried to order mine online through this one website, and they sent me some birth certificates, and I ordered 9 copies. I was like, what the hell is this? And I had to go down to the office to get it, and I just stood in line. 22 minutes, I was out of there. You know what I mean?
It's best to go down to the office and grab that. It's best to do all those types of paperwork in person, unless you're doing it through certified mail. And you guys know certified mail it costs a little bit, but it's effective.
Right.
The effectiveness is elite. So
okay. From there, what's the next steps?
What you want to do is you want to sit back and grab your birth certificate, secure your social security card.
What does that mean?
You go down there and grab it. A lot of people, parents have their social security cards.
So just have a
lose
copy.
Their social security cards and lose the value in understanding what it does and what its possibilities are.
Okay.
Because those two documents, your birth certificate and your social security card, are tied to your estate.
Okay. Break it down.
When you're born, your name automatically goes to a registrar. A registrar takes your social security number. There's your different registration than the birth certificate. Those two places build trust in your name, the all caps, of course, because they couldn't put a trust on a living man. And while you're going through all the stages of adulthood, you're still a minor. After turning 18, lawfully you're looked at as an adult. Legally, you're not until you present the correct paperwork, asserting your status, correcting your status. So that all caps name, you really have to know how to use it. You have to know what it's for. You really have to know how to benefit from it because it's a trust tied to it. So using that, going to get your birth certificate, your social security card, and knowing what your all caps is, you're ready to go set up a name for your trust now. Those two documents, along with your all caps name, with your trust, you can utilize that and put all kind of assets in that. And you can take that and utilize it for other purposes. I'll refrain from going into other purposes because that's another level we're going to go into. But one thing I want to let everyone know is those 3 pieces of information that I gave you will allow you to get off that chessboard and be in control of those chess pieces.
Yeah, I want you to you can go as high level as you want. You know what I'm saying? But to break down the pieces, what do you mean by you get into a registry? Do you know the definition of registrar? Because I seen something while I was scrolling.
Yes.
You're pretty much giving something.
You're registering your child. Actually, when your child is born, any child in America is born, what they're going to do is they're going to stamp their foot on paper with ink. Black ink, if you don't know about ink, learn your ink colors. Black ink is the ink that lets you know that you're dead. Blue ink is live ink. Red ink is blood. Purple is royalty. When you're born, they stamp your feet on that paper in black ink, certifying that you're a dead entity. They took your name, they put it in a registrar to get a birth certificate and a social security number. When they did that, those were trust accounts made for your name. That gave the hospital and the government consent over your parents' authority and consent to house your name in a system, and when anything associated with that name is compelled under the government, or the government must come do any kind of lawful tactics or anything involved with that child or that name, the government has first class rights over that above the parents. If you think of a situation like this, I at my house cool and I hear my neighbors beating their kid. I call DCFS, they come, they got the rights over the kid. You know why? They registered the child. The child's a birth certificate and a social security number. They can go take that child out that house. Now, if I had a trust and my child was in my trust and someone called DCFS and they came over, yada, 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 here's my paperwork. We're not authorized to speak with anybody above government without prior consent. Y'all should have written us before y'all came here. Y'all should have written us before y'all came here, contacted us properly. This is a house under a trust, not involved with government entities, not involved with anything. It's all private. So you move different when you have a trust.
And I really want y'all to pay attention to what he's saying. It's like, can you imagine you don't even own your kids? Low key. Because what he's saying, that's a perfect example. With the DCFS, imagine they come in and grab your kids, and then what are you going to do? You're thinking, oh, we have rights. It's like, yeah, there's things put in place for, like, you know, human rights, and to make sure we're all, you know, playing a fair game, right? Not just murder, you know, this kill, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's checks and balances, but the idea of what's really yours, like, the best example that I've seen as well is like the idea that you would register. What do people register the most? Their cars,
houses, deeds.
So imagine it's the same exact concept for your babies. Ain't that wild? So it's like, all right, cool. You're born. They stamp you with black ink, and then you're technically dead, and you're registered, and you're pretty much given away to the government. Where, like, now you're worth something to the government, but is it the straw man that's worth something to the government?
The straw man is the money. Because
the government can put like debt and equity on the straw man or something.
I'm going to break this down.
Break it down.
I can go and out and assault anyone I want. And what's going to happen? Usually they'll call the police, and the police will come and do what? Give me a what? A charge.
Right.
Well,
the transaction.
Same as a traffic ticket, right?
Right.
Now, the difference is if I hit someone, that's someone's body I'm injuring.
Correct.
And if I go get a traffic ticket,
there's no injured party.
Injured party, nowhere to be found. And if you're asked the court judge, who's the injured party, liably they're going to say the state. The state.
Or they're going to say the village, right?
How can a state be an injured party? The state is not a person. It's not a living person. It's not a living being.
Right.
But you see, the state is a person. They gave it a personhood. You see it?
Right.
So for me, if I can go get a charge in the courtroom for a traffic ticket, I should be able to go charge my credit for a new car. It's the same thing. They're charging your estate, your all caps estate, no matter what. Using your social security number to go get a car, right?
Right.
They're going to run what? Credit. How did you get credit on your social security card in the first place? Why did they use that in the first place? Because you're not going to get anything else without giving that social security card up and that number. You got to give that number up so they can access the funds in your trust account. And everybody has funds. Once you're registered, you have two type of trust funds. You have a certificate of birth fund that they register with, and they have a social security fund. When you retire, what do you get? Social security, right?
Right, and they keep saying social security is running out.
There's a debt on every name that's registered.
Why do they keep saying social security is running out?
They don't want to print the money no more.
So that's why being in trust allows you to move different. It allows you to be in that position where you're getting a traffic ticket and making a special appearance in court without making a special appearance, showing your certificate of trust, certain UCC documents, certain financial statements. You know, those documents hold more weight than me going in the courtroom and saying, yes, I'm a sovereign citizen. I'll go under this law right here, UCC 1. No.
1-0038 and without recourse.
Now, I'm going to say this. Those laws do matter. However, utilizing those laws in the wrong context, in the wrong manner, in the wrong place will actually get you in more trouble than it will get you.
Right, because like I've seen so many people videos, different TikToks or whatever, you know, people getting stopped and they're just like, I'm not driving,
I'm
right, you know,
I'm traveling.
And obviously they don't have the ID or the documentation or everything. They're saying the things in the courts that state that they're just gonna, you know, say, so it's like you're really not. You could say it as much as you want, but if you don't go through the necessary steps to take back your straw man, live within trust, and this, that, and the third, you better get out that fucking car because they gonna get on your ass.
Get out the driver's seat or put the pedal to the floor. One thing a lot of people have that I see online, they saying they got the paperwork, they're getting pulled over, and I still see them going to jail. A lot of people have the paperwork without proper filing it. A lot of people think you just get the paperwork.
Because once you file it, don't you? Once it's like secured and you have it, don't you get the ID? Don't you have like the U.S. national or whatever?
I'm going to say this. Those are IDs that you can go print out yourself. You can get your own system and print out your own IDs.
Because you can create your own country.
Correct. No disrespect to the Matt D brothers. They are some sovereign brothers. I respect those guys. How y'all doing out there?
Right.
They have their own IDs, sovereign IDs. Now, one thing I can tell you, if you would like to move as a national, I would not advise anybody to try to move as a sovereign citizen. I would advise you to move as a U.S. national. And if you were to do that, I would advise you to go and obtain your passport identification card. Not the book. Get both, but get the card. That's what you want to do.
You got yours?
No. I'm removing myself out of the jurisdiction as we speak. And it will be in a pocket near me.
Imagine I learned all this stuff, let's say a year and a half ago.
Okay.
For the first time in my life, I lost my passport the other month, like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I had to get a new one. I literally had to get a new one.
Trouble.
Right? He went down to Florida with his passport. He was able to finesse to get a bunch of funding, right? And so I'm like, all right, I'm about to do the same thing. I booked my flight, booked Airbnb, and I booked my Uber to the airport. I open my drawer and I don't see my passport. I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to go get a new passport to do what I had to do to get the bank accounts open and everything. So I did check the box for the passport card. This lady kept asking me if I had my driver's license, right? And I'm like, why the fuck does she need my driver's license? And I fucked up.
You gave it to her.
I fucked up. Because here's the thing. I read the email for the appointment. I had one of those emergency appointments where I literally had to book a flight to to the Dominican Republic,
right,
just to prove that I had an emergency. So I gotta get
the airport. You gotta get the passport quicker. That's
right. So if you need your passport 48 hours or 24 hours, whatever, that's a hack. You know what I'm saying? Just buy a refundable ticket, and then you can get your passport within 24 or 48 hours for real. Maybe same day. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to stand in line.
No later than 3 days.
Right. Long story short, I deeply regret handing over my driver's license or whatever, but it's because I was under pressure. I was in a crunch. You know what I'm saying? Like I already flew down to Florida, blah, 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 blah. I had to do what I had to do. And I didn't know, like the email that said what to bring, it didn't say nothing about no damn driver's license. So I was like, she kept asking me, do you have any other photo ID, any other I was like, shit, I left my FOID card. Like, what the fuck? You want a library card? You know what I'm saying? I don't even know, but long story short, they hit me with the 3 stars. And I was heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? You want to get the passport card with 5 stars. I'm gonna be going back there. I'm
Gotta
gonna
get that
go.
5.
Gotta get the 5 stars. I heard, this is what I heard and what I seen. Other people do it. They put the UV light and 5 stars, like, do not detain.
Yeah, do not disturb.
I can't prove that. He might know a little bit more.
My sister has one of those cards, and she's
I
the
can't
one who
wait.
showed me how to get it. I actually got a meeting on the 24th downtown. I'm going with my birth certificate as identification.
Only thing I could take in Florida was my driver's license and my certificate of live birth. I don't even know where my birth certificate is. And I was just like, I don't know why she asked me for my driver's license, but she ain't about to tell me that I can't get my passport. I was like, it's cool. So got the new passport and the passport card, and I can finally never, because I don't even like driving with my
License.
like, yeah. It's like we was doing a photo shoot, a little vlog. We got footage of this. Like, she kept asking me, you don't got your driver's license? Right? Mind you, the cars are parked. Right? He's actually editing this vlog as we speak. But like, I travel with my passport, you know what I'm saying? I was like, there's my passport, you know what I'm saying? She kept asking me for the, I'm like, ma'am, like, this is my government. This is better than a driver's license. Right. What you mean? But she kept pressing the issue. But just because I know a thing or two, I ain't trying to get myself in trouble. But whenever I get pulled over, I don't speak. I don't communicate. Like, I don't engage in conversation. What I do wrong? Why you pulling me over? Like, no, I just shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel comfortable talking to police like that. So I just nod my head and whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I haven't gotten to that level where I'm bold enough to not give up my driver's license yet until I really get that 5-star.
I'm going to say this. When putting that trust document together and registering that trust document, it sends shockwaves across all systems with your name attached to it. And when your name do get attached to it, you will be able to walk down to that building and grab your 5-star ID passport card because all of your paperwork is right. You have to pass verbal tests and tests of handling documentation when you go down there to get your passport card. It's not just handing out 5 stars, So paperwork first, and then you go apply. So my paperwork is done. Now, only thing I'm doing is applications right now. Application for my passport card. My vehicle is transferred over to my LLC. My LLC is in my trust. So I'm not liable for my LLC. I'm not liable for my trust. I'm just the trustee.
I love it. I love to hear it. This music to my ears.
Yeah, you own nothing, but you have everything. You're not liable for anything, but I have everything.
All right, this ain't no trick question, all right? So if you were able to successfully move your car into your business, right, and then your business is owned by your trust, right? Mm-hmm.
Like, they can't take it. They can't come try to get this.
But like, what type of place you got in your car?
I'm going to tell you this. Whether you're moving in commercial or non-commercial, which is the private, and pay attention to this because when you move in trust, you move different. Your all caps name is usually that name that you go put all of that in, which is the cars, your job, your home. You go put your all caps name on all those things, giving higher authorities that right to sit back and take that from you because you put it in your all caps name.
Okay.
We're moving in private. If I'm moving in private, my name is already copywritten because my name is not all caps. And just because the all caps name is on my identification, what that makes me, the name holder. I'm the trustee over that name. I'm not that name. No one never told me I was that name. No one ever put that name on me. I accepted that name as a title, and I'm using that name. That name comes with 2 accounts that I like. A Social Security account, and it comes with the account that's tied to my birth certificate. And if I feel so, I need to use those in any way as if I wanted to discharge a debt, 1099 OID, I could properly do that because my assets are in trust. You are not able to take anything from me. Why? I don't have anything. That's my trust. And I'm the trustee. You have to go through trust law, and that's different law than commercial law. That's like ecclesiastical law. So when you move in trust, it's a beautiful thing because that car, it's under Michael Thornhill LLC. But Michael Thornhill LLC is owned by that trust, and you can't come over here and take anything. I don't own that. The builder don't own that. That's the trust. You have to deal with this. This is trust law now. We're going into different phases of law, and trust law is one of the highest laws.
But if they run the plates, is it registered with the state?
Yes, because once you finish applying all of your assets that you have acquired thus far and placing them into your trust, they're secure. They're private. They're private now. It all comes in furnishing the correct information to the correct agency so you may move well.
Furnishing the correct information to the correct agency.
So you may move well. If you would like to move effortlessly and unmolested travels anywhere you go, you must have the correct paperwork. I like to move like King Jaffe Joe Fur when I come through, So when your paperwork right, you have no reason to be looking over your back. You have no reason because you got pulled over that the police is gonna give you a hard time.
Right, real quick. But if you get pulled over, I'm trying to make sure I'm understanding too. Because you go put your car into your trust, you put whatever you're in your trust, but the car is, obviously is registered to you. Because let's say I go get a car right now, put it in my name, go use my social security, get the car. Now I got the car. I do what I need to put that car in my trust. So if I am getting pulled over and I was there getting stopped me and they register, they run the plate, it's gonna be like, we can, we still could stop them. And I have to walk around with my papers saying, hey, no, I'm with this or that. Or when they run my plate, it automatically, they see it and they, you can't touch them, or like, no, we can't grab that car, take that car, this and that, is it, once you put it in trust, does it register with the state? Or you, like I said, you had to come around and carry a certain documentation or have something to fight against them from wanting to take your car or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, How does that work?
Because in those Facebook groups, they will make their own plates with the U dash whatever 308 whatever. Like, I am not driving, I'm traveling. Like, they will make their own plates because they're literally registered in their own private trust. It's not registered with the state and the DMV. Like, right?
So when you register your car with the DMV, you are actually registering to do commerce. So you're registering to do business with your vehicle. That's why you're registering your vehicle.
Is there a way around that?
Yes, you're moving into private. When you own a vehicle, when you buy if I bought a vehicle right now and I did not want to go to the DMV to register my vehicle, I need not, as long as I put it in my private trust. My private trust is registered. When you go register your trust, you're going to get all this information like you would register a business. So if I was to buy a vehicle that was in my name today, and I had my trust documents done and my trust built, I will be going to get a bank account in my trust tomorrow. And I'll be going down to the bank, documenting that with my bank. The bank has the bank documents as well.
Right.
You would actually notify whoever's running your trust. If you are running your own trust, you would actually put those documents in trust, and you would actually file those documents properly. I'm going to drive this hard because a lot of people feel like they can just go get the documents, get them notarized. You must learn how to file these documents. These documents must go to the proper locations. If not, you will be in trouble. So it's a thin line, because what you want to do is be able to know what you're doing, and you got to know what you're filing. So when you do go down there and file it, you have the confidence to say, okay, I don't need to register my car. I don't have to drive with that plate anymore, because that plate is doing commerce. They can pull you over because your car is registered.
Right.
To a certain state. We got 50 states. These are really countries.
Right.
Because they have their own laws.
Right.
So if I was to drive my car with an Illinois plate and through Indiana, I'm still doing commerce.
Right.
It's interstate commerce, but as long as I have a plate on my car, I'm doing commerce.
Right.
If I took the plate off, my car should not be registered. You can take your car to registration. You can revoke registration. You can revoke power of authority to anybody who you granted it to. If you signed your signature on any line, I'm pretty sure you granted some kind of authority to somebody over you or your person or your straw man. So with that trust paperwork working with me, you will have those letters of revocation who you're going to revoke power of attorney over your straw man. That's how you do that. And once done, that way you can invoke your authority to move without a license on your car. I don't have to move. You can move with your passport card. You do not need to carry your ID. You do not need to register with the identification.
The real
DMV
ID
anymore.
It just happened 2 days ago.
Because you are a private citizen. You are giving up your private information and you're putting yourself back into their system. One thing you want to do is get out of their system. You want to take control of that all caps name. You want to take control of those accounts and be off of the board moving those pieces out of their system, out of their jurisdiction. Like you said, the 5 stars on the passport card. When they run that card, it do show up all red. Do not detain.
Sheesh, I can't wait.
Yeah, it does. It does say a number of things in there. And it's true. So right now, I'm done with my paperwork. I'm actually in the application phase.
Is it a process? Is it months? Do people got to be patient for this process?
Yeah, it's like credit repair, man. Because like the difference is the extensiveness of documents you're just filling out, man. It's like you really just fixing however many years you've been on this earth, utilizing that name. You're fixing all that damage because a lot of people don't know the damage they have incurred with that. A lot of power of attorney they've given away. A lot of going back and finding out information they don't find. I know you guys can vouch for this one. You know, people got stuff on their name. They don't know what that's on their name. Like,
yeah.
A lot of people don't know it was a Sage stream. Like, come on,
Right.
what's Sage stream? Like,
Right.
So it's places in government your name might be in. You might have an agricultural lien on your name. You never know what you have on your name. So when you sit down with me and build this package and we go through it, you're going to find out stuff about yourself you may not have known. You may find out that you have stuff in your name, money's to you. You can go claim more stuff. So yeah, it's very beneficial. It's very beneficial.
That's amazing, man. 'Cause I like learning about this stuff. It's just the execution is extremely intimidating because it's the highest level of just self-awareness, I would say. A lot of people aren't self-aware.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I
wouldn't
mean?
even say self-aware. I feel like that's a more higher level of living.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I call it a peaceful existence, because if you think about it, I'm pretty sure a lot of our viewers out here have seen the movie Wizard of Oz. When you hear that she has to get to this castle to get some authority granted to go home, and y'all see they pull back that curtain, you see this little dude, like, this the dude who was running the show?
Yeah.
He controlled all of this, and I pull the veil back and I feel like I can beat this man with my one hand behind my back. That's who this is. Think about your trust like that. Think about your trust. You running the whole land and you the wizard behind that veil. People get behind that veil like, this who the man behind all these businesses and all these cars and these houses. He's conglomerating with all these other businesses. Who is this the guy? That's how trust is. Yeah. You're just so secure. No one knows who you are. The whole movie, you got to get to the Wizard of Oz. Everything is going on. Everybody is well respecting the wizard, the wizard, the guy behind the curtain. And the guy behind the curtain said, "Well, I can't do nothing. You got to click your own heels. You got to find your way. You got it." He had no authority. Only thing he had authority over was what he controlled in that space she was in.
Right.
That's your trust. Everything you have on this earth that you have acquired that you still got control over. Namely, the biggest things are your name and the certificates that come with it. When you have those and it's in your hand and it's yours to call out shots about, which is having it in a private trust, then you will be the Oz. You will run this board. You will be out of the matrix and you will be able to play in the matrix.
Yeah. Because it's like, some people just so comfortable, right? Mm-hmm. And some people, they get good at the game in the Matrix. Like GTA. They create the life they want, right? Yeah. So that's how I started the conversation. It's like, hey, like, what is it worth to you to find out you could have a different level of freedom? You know what I mean? Because some people, you live in half in the private, half in the public. Because I know people right now as we speak, they're trying to discharge debt. You know, they're doing the type of disputes that's like, they're not only gonna get deletions off their report, they trying to discharge it and whatever. Like,
Right.
thanks for the 30,000. I'm like, who you writing that letter to? You really trying to piss off Navy and Chase and this and all the banks that could get you funding? And like, what happens when you get a free Mercedes? Are you gonna get another one later? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, it's like, I'll be asking those type of questions like, what is your end goal for real? You know what I mean? Because some people even do this sort of research after they done messed up financially, and they looking for any sort of answer. Like,
Facts.
you know,
Right.
That's
I
the
thought
best
about that too, because like, let's say we do, go put a car in the trust, and go get the Lambo, the lamb chop, and we go
discharge it.
discharge the shit out of it, just like
because down payments are illegal and stuff.
and it's in my trust, and you can't do that. You can't pay. You can't take it. You can't this. You can't that. Like, is it technically like if we take it? We take the Lambo, me and him, we got the Lambo now, and I want to go to another one.
Right.
Like I said, like, could they be like, nah, we're not going to give you another one? Or
Okay.
could they be like, oh, no, I mean, yeah, you could do it again, you know what I'm saying? Show us the same documents, I guess, and
Yeah.
run it again, or
Okay.
like...
That's
break
an
it
interesting
down.
question. I'm going to break it down. That's an interesting question because you guys own businesses and you guys know credit, right?
Right.
So this is the elite side of this. Actually, it's like not even a side. It's like you guys' credit is the potatoes, the trust is the gravy because the financial
They go
statements,
hand in hand
They
type
go hand
shit.
in hand. So
Oh, okay,
when you
so-
have your business and all of this stuff, your credit up, and you have a trust established, what's happening is you're allowing yourself to go into commerce and out of commerce. And that's when I said earlier, discharging the debt correctly. When your paperwork is right, you may use a 1099 OID to discharge that. It's not even a discharge, it's writing off because it's debt, it's off credit. So you writing off
You know what I'm
that
saying?
credit.
It's pretty much like, yeah, you got
It's
it in
writing
credit, now you're like,
Yeah,
you go get it in credit.
I'm gonna tell you something. Research pay in like kind.
Say it again.
Research pay in like kind. If everybody out there, look up pay in like kind. It's a form of payment you can pay instead of paying with your money, your U.S. dollars.
Look, we're gonna look it up right
Let's
now.
look it
just
up.
so
We all got smartphones. Look up pay in like kind.
Like kind. Okay. A like kind exchange is used when someone wants to sell an asset or acquire a similar one while avoiding the capital gains tax. It's like kind exchange. That's exchange. No, selling. What? Pay in. Let's see. I don't know. What? Hold on.
Pay in like kind.
Yeah, you use
I'm
negotiable
assuming.
instruments.
pay
I was
in
about to
like-
go
Negotiable
there
instruments.
because it's like to pay off a debt. It's you can technically use real money, like legally. Is that where you're going?
If
Where
you're
it's
paying
like
off
gold
a-
and silver,
I'm gonna
and then
tell
they
you
can
this.
reject it, and then according to technicality, if they reject it, then it's discharged or something like that. Is that where you're going?
If you're paying for a debt, that debt has already been discharged because they went and put it in debt. You were put in debt. So once they said, oh, you owe this money, they already went and got insurance for it. So once they claimed money from you, they got paid twice. They got paid on the front end and the back end.
Shit.
You got oh no, and that's no good. Because they already got paid. It's through
So-
your credit.
so
Once
all
they
the-
ran that, your credit is already given to them. So for you to have this vehicle now and you have your trust established with your business, and all these documents will be furnished to whatever financing company you're going to go get this Lambo from. Trust me, when y'all go get the Lambo, take me, I'm gonna let you know, I'm gonna show you. Put the papers down right there, yup. Those are the trust, that's the trust. It's gonna be in trust. A lot of people have not even seen this stuff. It's not your everyday thing. So a lot of people haven't yet to see somebody really go into a car dealership and get a car out and put the car in their trust. Right out the gate, not in their name.
Here,
right in their trust.
look at. Payments in kind loans. So a PIKE loan is one where the payment of interest is not in cash. The borrower pays in interest such as loans by using additional securities and additional debts instruments. Also, one also has to have has the option to add interest to the principal amount. So when you pay in like kind, you can add principal on you paying in like kind. Is crazy. And it's like features, drawbacks. It's expensive, risky, no cash flow for the lender until maturity, subboarding, blah, 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 and some other shit. But like, yeah, there's literally like,
Here you go.
usually unsecured, no need of security, usually for 5 years or more. It is higher interest rates than other. Comes with detachable warrants. But this one is also not easy to refinance though. But what were you looking at right here?
Mine, I have over here, it says, paying like kind with your trust means accepting payment or contributions in a form other than cash, but equal in value. In the context of your private contract trust, this phrase has elite level strategic use. Paying like kind allows you as a trustee or grantor to accept other assets, gold, silver, property, crypto, labor, services, promissory notes, instead of cash. They also have retain control over the medium of exchange, keeping it private and off the record. That's what I really wanted to hit the nail on the head with, was paying like kind, was keeping it off the record. Because once you pay with money, that money has a exchange note on it. It has that serial number on that dollar gets traced, and it comes with the receipt. I'm not sure if you guys still think about it as, oh, my dollar, I ain't giving him dollar, I'm giving him electric money. Still, that money is traced. When you're moving into private, you're using those paying like kinds more than none. And when you are operating with your trust has assets. I believe we was talking about it last time. I'm like, say if we were sitting down with a man who had $250,000 on in jewelry, right? Those would be marked in his trust. And if anything, his straw man should be the account that anything is coming off of first. However, just because that $250,000 in assets is in that man's trust, he's able to sit back and leverage that $250,000 asset to buy a Lamborghini, to go put a $50,000 down payment on a crib or Airbnb, whatever the case may be, because of the assets that are in the trust. Mm-hmm. You can go take that trust certificate and you take that trust certificate bears what your trust is, what your trust worth, what's in the trust. I would advise you don't have beneficiaries on there, but you taking that trust certificate and the rest of the documented paperwork we're going to complete down there, you walking out there with the car in your trust name.
Okay, because I know somebody was breaking down some games to me. I thought you was gonna go towards the lane where we collateralize the assets that's in the trust. Mm-hmm. Like that's a thing too. And as somebody was even breaking down some game where they did a thing called an IUL type of like insurance.
Life insurance.
Yep, and then they take that to the bank and collateralize that. It was some high level
I would
stuff,
stay away from that right now until you able to invest. I would say $1,000 to $3,000 a month for the IUL. Fall back, fall into learning trust, getting your trust established, and utilizing the benefits that come with trust first. I'm pretty sure after you learn so much about trust, a lot of people majority of people who, after they build their trust, will be going to get monies that's owed to them. A lot of people have money owed to them and they don't know about it. A lot of people have funds they can access they don't know about. So
they call it surplus funds sometimes.
Something like that, yeah.
You
know it.
Yeah,
it. So,
even when if you ever had a foreclosure and they take your property and they sell it at auction, mm-hmm. and you just think you SOL, right? Low key, if it sells for more than what you owed, there is now surplus funds. Mm-hmm. And if you just search the database, it's kind of public. It's kind of a public database. You might have some funds that are owed to you. If you never claim it,
Facts.
It's probably sitting in the pot at your county. So that's a thing. And people even made a business model out of this. I used to see a lot of ads a few years ago. I don't know if it got played out, but I mean, the law is the law, right? But imagine like making a business out of finding this database and you find the list of people that got foreclosed on, and then you skip trace them, you call them and say, hey, quick question. I know you got foreclosed on, but I can recover some money from that situation. Don't hang up, blah, 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 blah. I found $30,000 that you are owed. I know it sounds too good to be true, like a lottery. This probably sounds like a scam, but actually, I can help you file the paperwork, blah, 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 recover these funds. You don't have to really do nothing, but just sign me over a percentage after we recover the funds. Does this sound familiar to you?
Well, it's like that Prince called from Africa saying he rich.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's not, you know, because I'm a living walking.
and then just give me a percentage after we recover the funds. And people make a living out of like the surplus funds business. Y'all can research it. Like I said, I don't know if it's played out. I was researching it heavy. I went down to the county office. I was like walking into these different judges' offices in like City Hall looking crazy. I was trying to get this information. Like, how could I find this list for the people that got foreclosed on? But they probably thought I was up to no good because I was young at the time. And it was just like, I seen some stuff on the internet trying to capitalize or whatever, but trying to help too, because that'd be amazing business model, is just like call people that just been through some hard times and then,
Facts.
You know what I mean? But
Facts.
Man, all this stuff, to me, it's the type of conversations I enjoy having for real, like to be able to just learn some high-level stuff, go down that rabbit hole, trying to find out information I don't already know. So obviously I know something about it, but not enough to really like teach it, right?
Okay.
Can people learn from you at all?
Y'all can learn from each other. One thing I do value is my time I take to myself and separate from everyone else to learn these things. These things I see myself in first, and I also see the people that surround me doing it as well. So it's not me doing it for my own gain only, because my circle has to show up like I show up, and I have to show up like my circle. And if we ain't showing up how we should show up, we should tighten up. And this right here is a tighten up mechanism for me and my circle and everyone else that is blessed to be around right now or tuning in right now. It's a lot to learn from me. I can give you the whole strategy. I can give you the 6 stretch course or the 6 courses that you need to complete these trusts that you guys want to make. The whole thing is, it's not whether I have something to teach someone, it's whether someone is willing to learn. Because we often have that eagerness to get by and get ahead. And once we find out the work that must be put in behind it is what it is, a lot of people deter and steer away from that. Mm-hmm. Their intentions coward. So
they lose enthusiasm,
you know, and motivation and everything else. So one thing I would say is, yes, I do have a lot to teach. The thing is, are you willing to learn? Are you willing to step off this board and see yourself in a different light and walk in a new light? And change is scary. But when you know that no authority is held over you after you make that change, that's the exciting factor. Mm-hmm. Because it's a thin line between excitement and fear.
Yeah.
That's the line right there. That's the veil we cracking.
Yeah, 100%. So, you know, if somebody did you have a mentor to teach you this stuff, or you just went down the internet and educated yourself by yourself?
I'm gonna shout out a couple people: Joshua Aaron Bay, Taj Tariq Bay, my father, family members, a lot of the Moors, a lot of the Black Pea Stones in the neighborhoods showed me a lot of love and showed me a lot of ways, you know, kept me disciplined when I needed to be. So yeah, that was it.
Man, that's perfect. That's perfect. So if somebody wanted to reach out to learn the game from you because they just got enlightened and, you know, they feel inspired by what you've been able to accomplish, even though you're still in the process, but to help them get to where you are, how would they even get in touch with you? Are you on social media? Do you have a website? How can they get in touch with you?
Right now, my social media handle is Instagram. It's Divine Bendu. You can look it up as BINDU.DVN. That's Bendu Divine. That's my Instagram handle. And yes, you can get in contact with me. I can teach you the whole package. One thing I will tell you is to come dedicated and ready.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they just like to, they're hopping your DMs or book a call just to sort of vent to you. And, we had a conversation about that on another podcast, whatever. Like, if they want it, but they're not willing to work for it, whatever, but you want them to come correct with their mind made up, like, hey, I'm really trying to do this and like get tapped in and educate themselves. And we offer a program as well, which has your speaking. I'm like, all right, you know your stuff. I would even like to invite you to my community, Like, we created a community where we like to teach people about financial literacy and leveraging, I guess you would leverage your all caps name, but with credit involved, we help everybody get to an 800 plus credit score, right? We have a mission with our community with school.com/850, right? We want to get at least 800 people into the 800 club, leveraging their socials or whatever, just finances and credit to get 6 figures in funding, right? So we not stopping until we get over 100 people, at least 6 figures in funding, and be able to use that funding to chase their dreams, build out their businesses, and get business funding, the type of funding that doesn't even report to their personal credit.
Okay.
Right? Now, sometimes we go into these groups, we have the weekly calls, and we discuss the elementary things and the high level things when it comes to getting business funding and starting your LLC, starting from scratch. At any level, we got different people at all levels. People that got multiple businesses, S corps, corporations. But the key piece that we really need to bring in is establishing that trust that owns the business. That's the missing piece that's not that popular right now. But it's just like, if you didn't crack the code on getting a trust to own your business, because a lot of people, they think a trust is expensive and all of that stuff, but we're going to chop it up, see if you can hop on one of our calls, because we do calls every Wednesday night, or at least weekly or whatever. We're going to bring on special guests like yourself that can educate the people. So if you got a program as well, we can break it down for them. Here's how to do things right way. You know what I'm saying? That sound cool?
Let's do that.
100%.
Because I want to let you know this, and you guys know about business. Any business can get blown up. You can run up a $400,000 credit on a business and blow it up, but you're going to still be liable.
Right.
You don't want to be liable for your business.
Right.
Put your business in a trust, make your business go get that money, and then you blow it up if you like to.
Right.
Just learn how to blow it up with the right paperwork.
Right.
And you can Donald Trump this all day. You see,
right.
They got him in court and they have him in and out of court. You can't get jurisdiction over the man. They can't pull his paperwork documents. He's done everything right. It's because he's moved into private. They're asking for documents that he can't get. He can't give those documents. I can't furnish those documents.
Right. They're private.
They're private.
It's private information.
So yes, I'd love to sit back and help and assist. For
sure.
Our viewers and our community into moving into private and stepping into that 800.
100%. Well, there you have it. There you have it. Y'all know where to go. Links in the bio, where to tap in and get more of this high-level information. Right? We're going to wrap it up right there. Man, just one more time, where can they follow you at?
Bendu Divine, BINDU.DVN on IG.
For sure. You already know where you can find me, Deleteking 850. All platforms. Where can they find you, bro?
Deletekings CVO.
Let's go. Made it to the end.
Yes, sir. Peace out.